Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. Tonight, we bring you the latest news from around the world as tensions continue to escalate in key regions. The Iran war, which has been ongoing for months, remains a contentious issue, with Europe still seeking a say in its future. Meanwhile, China is capitalizing on the increased demand for oil tankers, and US President Trump's comments on the war have sparked controversy. We'll also take a look at Ukraine's ongoing conflict and a surprising claim from popular podcaster Joe Rogan. Let's get started with our recap. As tensions in the Middle East escalate, Europe's silence on US-led military action against Iran raises concerns about its commitment to global security. A proposed British-French plan to secure the Strait of Hormuz has been met with skepticism from Tehran and Washington, highlighting Europe's limited role in the ongoing conflict. The plan, unveiled last month, aims to create a naval force that would help protect shipping lanes in the sensitive waterway. The proposal involves the deployment of a European military presence alongside US forces in the region, as well as increased cooperation between EU member states on maritime security issues. However, Iran and the United States remain deeply divided over the plan's implications. In recent months, tensions have escalated following a series of attacks on oil tankers and other vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz, which is a critical waterway for global energy supplies. The US has accused Iran of being behind the attacks, while Tehran denies any involvement. European leaders had hoped that a joint plan with Washington would give them a more significant role in shaping the response to these incidents. However, it appears that Iran and the United States are still calling the shots. EU foreign ministers last week reaffirmed their support for the British-French proposal, but made clear that they were not seeking to take on a more prominent military leadership role. The plan's prospects remain uncertain as diplomatic efforts continue in an attempt to de-escalate tensions in the region. For Europe, securing the Strait of Hormuz would be a major achievement and demonstrate its ability to play a meaningful role in global security issues. However, with Iran and the US still at odds, it appears that Europe will have to wait for further developments before making any significant contributions. As tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate, a crucial development has brought the Iranian conflict back into focus for now, at least. Good evening, I'm your name, and this is a special report from Jazeera English. The conflict in Lebanon has taken a deadly turn, with Israeli attacks leaving the country reeling. The Disaster Management Unit in Lebanon has confirmed that the death toll from weeks of violence has risen to 2,454, with over 7,600 people injured. Israeli airstrikes began on May 10th, targeting high-rise buildings and residential areas in Beirut. The attacks have been widely condemned by international leaders, including UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. The Israeli military has maintained that its actions were aimed at deterring a potential Iranian missile attack from the country's Bekaa Valley. However, Iran says it is not involved in any conflict with Israel and has called for an immediate ceasefire. US President Donald Trump has announced that a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon has been extended. However, these talks are still in limbo, leaving many questions unanswered about what this means for the future of the conflict. The situation remains volatile, with fears of further escalation. The international community is calling on all parties to exercise restraint and engage in peaceful dialogue. As the death toll continues to rise, concerns are growing about the humanitarian impact of the violence. The United Nations has called for access to affected areas to provide aid and assistance to those in need. With tensions still high, it remains to be seen what the future holds for Lebanon and the wider region. We will continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available. Following a surge in global tensions over the Middle East, China's major shipyards are capitalizing on increased demand for oil tankers from anxious buyers. In a significant boost for Chinese shipbuilders, several major oil tanker orders have been secured in recent weeks amidst the ongoing tensions between Iran and global powers. This surge in demand has cemented China's position as the world's leading shipbuilding nation, according to industry sources. Switzerland's Advantage Tankers has placed an order with a Chinese shipyard for two 307,000 deadweight-ton very large crude carriers, VLCCs, which are expected to be delivered in 2028 and 2029. In contrast, Geneva-based Mercuria Energy Group, one of the world's largest independent commodity traders, has signed contracts worth nearly $650 million with Chinese shipyards for up to 4 VLCCs and 2 LR2 product tankers. Deliveries are expected by 2029. Singapore-based Yangtze Maritime Development, backed by Chinese shipbuilding tycoon Ren Yuanlin, has also ordered 8 VLCCs, marking its first venture into the large tanker segment. These orders demonstrate China's growing presence in the global oil tanker market, which is increasingly driven by tensions in the Middle East. The Iranian crisis has created a volatile situation for oil traders and shippers who are seeking reliable shipping options to secure their supplies. Chinese shipbuilders are well-positioned to capitalize on this demand, thanks to their strong capacity, lower costs, and shorter delivery times. This trend is expected to continue as existing projects also benefit from the increased order volume. As a result, Chinese shipyards are poised to reap significant rewards in the coming years. Following a recent wave of criticism from Joe Rogan on the U.S. military's handling of the ongoing conflict in Iran, a bombshell claim has emerged. Joe Rogan, a popular podcaster and close friend of President Donald Trump, claims that Trump called him very liberal during a recent White House event. The comment was made during an exchange about the administration's efforts to speed up review for therapeutic psychedelics, with Trump jokingly saying he is not as liberal as Rogan. According to Rogan, the friendly tone extended to their conversation at a UFC fight earlier this month, where they were seen having an animated discussion. Some commentators had interpreted their interaction as an argument, but Rogan disputes this, saying the topic was actually the psychedelics effort. He claims that he initially lobbied the White House on the issue through a text message to Trump, and that their subsequent conversation confirmed the president's commitment. The incident has sparked debate over whether there is a growing rift between Rogan and Trump. However, Rogan remains close to the president despite their differing views on various issues, including immigration rates and the Iran war. The exchange highlights the complexities of their relationship and the nuances of public discourse around sensitive topics. Rogan's comments have been met with skepticism by some online, who point out that his criticisms of Trump's administration have not diminished their friendship. Nonetheless, the incident demonstrates the power dynamics at play in the relationship between a high-profile ally and a polarizing figure like Trump. As one of Trump's most visible defenders, Rogan's words carry significant weight, making this exchange particularly noteworthy for its insight into the inner workings of their complex bond. As the situation on the ground continues to evolve, a potential lifeline for Ukraine is taking shape, with a major pipeline set to reopen. The Druzhba pipeline carrying Russian oil to Hungary and Slovakia is ready to resume operations after Ukraine repaired damage from a Russian attack. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the pipeline's reopening means there are no grounds for blocking a €90 billion EU loan package. This comes as Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban spent months blocking the loan due to concerns over energy security. Orban is set to leave office after losing badly in national elections, and his decision to block the loan was seen as a last-ditch attempt to exert influence before handing power to his successor. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas expressed confidence that a positive decision on the loan would be made within 24 hours. The pipeline's reopening is significant because it marks a major shift in Europe's energy strategy, with Ukraine and Russia vying for influence over the continent's energy supplies. Zelensky has repeatedly called on Europe to diversify its energy sources and not rely on Russian pipelines. However, he warned that pumping oil through the Druzhba pipeline would pose significant risks due to ongoing tensions between Ukraine and Russia. Meanwhile, Ukrainian authorities have arrested several military draft officers in Odessa for allegedly extorting money from people under threat of conscription. The arrests were part of a larger investigation into extortion and corruption involving local territorial recruitment centers. That's all for today's news recap. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay up to date on the latest global developments, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll bring you the most important stories as they happen. Until next time, goodbye.